Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's time once again for another Road Least Taken video. I'm, of course, Samius. And we're off to do Sykros Jewel. I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. Alright, so I've been trying my best for these quests that are like out in an Explorer Zone to give you guys a video on, or at least run to the quest so you get an idea how to get there. And what kind of things you're looking for along the path as like landmarks. You have this big castle thing, you have this big mountain, keep that on your left, kind of ride that around, but really you're looking for this fallen down, looks like a, I don't know, like an old seawall maybe, or like a really, in the old days, part of a castle or fort or something. I don't know if it actually ever told us. But once we see that, we want to come over here to this other rock. Again, hold the left and up and around. There's the cave entrance right here. It is one of the explorers, so as you clean out the explorers out here, which I do recommend the explorers in this zone, at least now that you have a horse. It's actually very quick. Little like 12,000 experience. I think it takes like 4 minutes to run through the explorer zone on your horse. Alright, now about the quest itself. I'm going to pull up the map, and you can see, like I said, I literally recorded this yesterday. So I have a lot of the map filled in, but you're looking for 2 keys. And right here where I have the mouse right now is 2 locked doors. To be able to proceed past, we have to get 2 keys. They can't be picked, they have to be found. There's a silver key and an iron key. Now, I personally feel like there's typically a key in this big room, and there's typically a key in this big room. However, the 2 keys do not have to be in individual rooms. They do not have set spawn points. They can also be in this maze of tunnels here that connect the 2 areas. So what I'm saying is, the quest is basically long or short depending on how lucky you are and how good you are at searching and how well you can spread out. So let's go look for some keys. This is where if I was if I was a better video editor, which I'm not a video editor at all, I would like speed the quest up and make a bunch of Benny Hill music. But alas. Keep hitting your tab button or whatever your target next interactable button is, or non-hostile, and just kind of keep an eye out. You're looking for a chest. The keys will be in a chest. The chest will not have horns on them, if that means anything to you. Yeah. So the first tunnel over here to the west is going to be up on the ground. There's 2 levels. Oh, we got a mushroom, or not a mushroom. We got a reaper. So you'll have a top floor and a bottom floor. And the bottom floor is like covered with water, and the mushrooms grow out of it. So, what? That must have come from. Oh, there's another shaman. I thought the reaper cast that ice storm. If I'd realized it was a shaman, we might have started on the shaman a little earlier. So you can walk around the top, but you can also look down and see that we have shamans and stuff walking around down here on the floor. So if you're ranged, you can gobble them up from up here. Also down below, you'll notice that there's a bunch of little caves. There's optionals or potential optionals and stuff like that down there. But also, unfortunately, the key can also be down in these little caves. So you may have to look around in these caves. Looks like there's no key or an optional in this one. I want that tasty soul, probably. You know me, guys. I'm all about. What about them tasty souls? Alright, again, there's the chest. So if you're down here in the water, you're going to find a lot of these slanty mushrooms. And by a lot, I mean usually at least one, sometimes two per room. Oh, I'm a big liar. I guess these are the ones that do have the bumps on them. I feel like I know this quest a little better than this, but with what kind of chest it could be. But, oh well. Grab this chest and we'll get out of here. Alright, so we have a couple options. We could D-door if we're confident that the other key is not in this vicinity. I am not that. Or we can keep checking these side tunnels. Like I said, there could be an optional. Looks like they spotted me. I was just gonna leave if they didn't see me. Once I confirmed that there was not an optional in here. I don't know off the top of my head what all the different optionals are. I know there's like a rust monster. I know there's 1 or 2 different trolls. Obviously, killing a bunch of trolls is an optional. Yeah, nothing in there. All right. We'll walk back through these tunnels. Oh, we're on the bottom floor, so we have to go back up top. It's the other thing you got to keep in mind, which if you entered on the top, there's not a ground floor exit. You have to go back to the top if you're walking. Okay. Remington came downstairs. I was just making sure he didn't have anything he wanted to talk about. Alright, so we're going to take a look at these tunnels. There's another optional in these tunnels. I believe it's down here in this dead-end looking area of the map. And the reason we kind of go down in here is it's literally, I think, 100% of the traps in the quest. And I have no idea off the top of my head if you can get a trap bonus in this quest. But I guess we'll go find out. Alright, so in this area, we're going to go down through this water. Go swimming. We're going to stick our head up. Now, when we stick our head back up through here, we're going to notice a sweet pile of treasure and a whole bunch of nothing. But what's actually here is a trap box on either side, which just spawned, and a small hand... Again, a Reaper came out of nowhere on us yesterday, too, actually. And a handful of... What are they? Smuggler Guardians? I don't know. Whatever miscellaneous type ghosts they happen to be. But you want to make sure that you have a death ward going, or death block going. They can neg level you. And then these traps are big cone of cold ice jet traps. Some of my hireling. And I don't actually know what the... Alright, so one trap is 10%. Yeah, 2 traps are still 10%. I always get really confused when it comes to some of these trap bonuses and their arbitrary numbers. Like, if you do 100% of the quests in the traps in the quest, that should guarantee that you get the maximum bonus, in my opinion. If there's 1 trap in the quest, you should get the maximum trap bonus. But that's just me. Just a nobody. Alright. Now we'll head off into the second room. The second room will enter on the ground floor. That's how you kind of can tell them apart in case you're not watching your map and you just get confused. So, Hunter come to visit. Oh, there's the chest down here on the ground. So now we don't have to go to the top floor and wander around. I probably will just a little bit, at least to show you one or two little doodads here, but now that you have this chest, you can and the key, you can just carry on to the end. All right. So let's look in this tunnel. I believe this tunnel can be the rust monster. I think looks like there's nothing in here. A little bit good, a little bit bad, I suppose. All right, so here's our mushrooms to get up to the top floor, right? We talked about that. It's pretty simple. However, in my experience, a reasonable amount of the time, right here is where this chest is. So instead of having to walk all the way around, a pretty common thing that you can do is put on your Featherfall, sprint boost, jump, whatever, haste, be able to jump over here to this location. Also, often if you have any trolls that are aggroed on you, they'll all path around in such a situation that they'll run around the whole dungeon to get to here, which gives you a really good place, in my opinion, to trick the trolls back and forth into leaving you alone, basically, or giving you lots and lots of time to range them from far, far away. Let's get our intelligence thing turned back on. Don't care about Featherfall anymore. We need one more scrag to get our experience points for that optional. Bam, done. Alright, now I don't care about the scrags anymore. The scrags are over. In fact, we're going to walk through the airlock here. We're going to shift from water trolls to underground dwarves. I guess all dwarves are underground. Underdark dwarves? Drurgers? We'll just call them Drurgers. So we have our two keys. We've basically airlocked our way through. I'm not even 100% sure if the enemy dwarves can actually go through the doors. They probably can. You probably can lead them back and forth, but why would you? That sounds dirty. Alright. Fire off. Some crowd control here, a little bit of AoE damage. Read things down. Keep an eye out, especially right here, with the addition of the dwarves. Dwarves have lots of interesting classes. You got a summoner, which is like their cleric. You have a couple of different rogue type classes, one with swords and one, I believe, with ranged weapons. So keep an eye out. You may want to focus your file appropriately. Alright, so through this door to the west, there's a hole that drops down, and there's going to be a named spider down here. And you'll notice you can't actually damage him until you fall through the floor. I don't honestly know why, other than they felt like it wouldn't be a fair fight, I guess, if you just range him from above. But whatever. I'll take it. We can exit this door, no problem. Then we'll have a short ladder with like 5 or 6 guys up here. 5 or 6 guys. I'm gonna just shoot them down. I guess there's less depending on your difficulty setting. I don't know. Well, thank you, Mr. Valentine. I am sexy. I'm very sexy. Alright. This is the chest for the spider. That chest that we opened earlier was a bonus chest because it was a champ. Of course, both of these areas are completely optional. You can just instead, if you feel like it, proceed to the east and enter the end quest area. We got a bunch of different guys to basically clean up in here, but it boils down to one primary red named, I believe. Maybe 2. Captor, Duder, and then there should be another guy called Captor somewhere in here, I think. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just the one Captor guy. Nope, there he is, right there. It's like a subclass of the dwarf here. And then, we're ready to complete the quest. So, the quest completes when you rescue this young lady from her cage. She will teleport to safety. And there you go. Now, loot your chest, and you could recall here if you like. But one of the things that I personally actually find to be the most interesting part about this region and this quest in particular is if you look outside, there's a big lighthouse kind of isolated off by itself that you can't get to. Well, this is how you get to it. You're actually climbing up the inside of that lighthouse right now. And if you keep climbing up all these ladders and whatnot, not only will you get a sweet collectible at the very top, but you'll also have an exit to the Explorer Zone up here at the top. And you will actually appear on the outside of the lighthouse. And it gives you a lot of really fun things. So like if you wanted to get some Slayers out here, you know, like you're looking for a low stress way to get a couple of Slayers, or you just want to screw around, or you just like the view, or you want to see how far you can jump, this is a great place for that. So like for example, you get out your horse, you put on your Featherfall item, and you just whee, and you see how far you get a fall. If you have your Dragonborn leap, you can leap around. Oh no. Anytime that you have these opportunities to like jump, I'm actually not gonna recall out yet. Actually, stop recalling. There we go. I'm actually gonna just ride all the way back to get my end reward here. But if you have an opportunity to kind of fiddle around, I feel like a lot of people enjoy jumping off of things. I'm not sure why, but jumping and feather falling and feeling that flight type mechanic in DDO seems to be a pretty popular vibe, at least for me. If there's an opportunity for me to jump off of something high, I'll do it. I will do it. All right, here's our end reward. Nothing super special here. All right, one last thing. I didn't include this in the previous quest, and I probably should have. There's actually a spa slash public area inside the Explorer Zone here that you can actually go into, sell, repair, just relax. In fact, they use this spa for basically any time they want to do a spa here in DDO. They use this area. So you got a banker, general supplies, a mailbox, pawn and gift shop. What? Okay. So I guess potentially you can get some additional. If it's classified as a pawn shop, you get slightly higher prices, right? A spirit binder and a second bar. I thought there was an auctioneer in here too somewhere, but I guess not. But yeah, this before guild ships, right? If you can imagine, way back before airships were a thing, and back before. So when airships came along, people started binding in the 12, right? Because it would be very close to your airship portal. But before then, this used to be one of the two places that I would bind to. I would bind out here, or I would bind in the portable hole, depending on what my class was. If I had if I felt like I was a wizard that was entitled to be able to be in the portable hole, I would bind there. But if not, I would bind out here. And this is just a nice, look at that, you got a nice view. You have all these wonderful people giving back massages. 2 thumbs up to the resort spa. All right, everybody. Speaking of thumbs up, please hit those thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace and much love. Toodles.